that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older.
It has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Boxing fans around the world are buzzing with excitement and surprise as Manny Pacquiao announces his return to the ring at 46 to face rising star Mario Barrios. The 8-division champion, known for his lightning-fast hands and relentless pace, is stepping back into the spotlight years after his last fight, proving once again that age is just a number for the Filipino icon. As the news spreads, top fighters are weighing in, with some applauding Pacquiao's determination, while others express concern about the risks of going up against a younger, stronger opponent like Barrios.
You named Manny Pacquiao, you clickbait in the name, he's 44 years old. Is there genuinely a chance of Manny Pacquiao versus Conor Benn? Have you spoken to anyone from Manny's team?
I mean, maybe I'm clickbaiting. Maybe watch this space.
And if the WBC clear Conor, do you still have to go to the British Boxing Board, or would they have to just be governed by whatever the WBC say?
No, I mean, ultimately, it depends on the ruling on the test.
Lawrence Okoli apparently has given up his UK residency, and I'm assuming it's for tax benefits in the UAE. Would you recommend that to any of the young fighters coming up? Is that a good idea?
I mean, it's a very cloudy situation.
Looking down the card, which fight do you think we're more likely to potentially see an upset? Because the bookies have got the home fighters quite a big favourite.
I promise you, someone from the away corner will win tomorrow night.
Is there any chance that the Irish government may help you out with the funding for that venue, do you think, or is that completely out there?
Yeah, I think it's...
Manny Pacquiao's decision to return to the ring at 46 to face Mario Barrios has stirred mixed feelings in the boxing community. While many admire his passion and legendary career, others are concerned about the dangers of coming back after several years away. Pacquiao is set to make his big return nearly 4 years after his last fight, with plans to challenge current WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios in July 2025. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed the fight, citing a rule that allows former champions to compete for titles after retirement, a rule previously used by legends like Sugar Ray Leonard. Though the date and venue haven't been officially announced, Pacquiao's Senate campaign in the Philippines wraps up on May 12, and reports suggest that Premier Boxing Champions and TGB Promotions have reserved the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for July 19th, indicating it could be the likely time and place.
Which contemporary fighter do you most enjoy watching right now?
Out of the big-time fighters now?
Yeah.
Pacquiao looks sensational his last fight. Oh, looks sensational. No fighter. And you as my witness, as any expert, no fighter looks more sensational than Pacquiao looked the other night. Mm-hmm. No fighter. Name a fighter looked more sensational than Manny Pacquiao did the night he fought.
Let me sneeze and say Floyd Mayweather. How do I sneeze and say Floyd Mayweather?
All right, hey, listen. Then that shows that you're a neophyte in boxing. You know nothing about boxing.
Well, excuse me?
Because no.
What? I didn't hear you, Mike. What'd you say?
That you don't know much about boxing.
You're a little uncomfortable up here.
No one said who was better. I said there's nobody in boxing that fighting that looks sensational.
Sensational.
The way that Pacquiao did against Rio.
Joe Rogan, the well-known commentator and podcaster, expressed concern over Pacquiao's comeback. He called it dangerous, highlighting the serious health risks involved at this stage of Pacquiao's life and career. Rogan emphasized the brutal physical demands of boxing and questioned if returning after such a long break is truly a wise decision.
As if Manny Pacquiao in the middle of his prime said, I'm going to fight MMA. That would be insane. And he'd probably get his face kicked off, probably get strangled, probably get taken down, strangled, and he would be helpless. It's a different skill set. There's so much more to MMA. To me, it's more exciting to watch.
Amir Khan, former world champion and longtime friend of Manny Pacquiao, shared mixed feelings about Pacquiao's return to boxing. While he acknowledges the business potential of the fight, Khan is concerned about the reasons behind the comeback. He mentioned that he'd be open to fighting Pacquiao if there's enough financial backing, possibly with support from major figures like Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh. Khan said, if you can get someone like Turki Al-Sheikh on board, then why not? Making it clear that money is a key factor in his decision. At the same time, Khan questioned the fairness of Pacquiao fighting for world titles again when so many young fighters are working their way up. He added, if Manny wants to come and fight for a world title, why not? But it's a bit unfair, isn't it? There are so many young fighters coming up. Really, I think you should give the next generation a chance.
And Manny got in touch with me as well. Manny was like, shall we do a fight? He's quite serious about it. He was like, shall we make a fight happen? I go, listen, if you can get a funder, if you can get someone like someone like a Turkey Sheikh on board, then why not?
There's no, I mean, that must be able to be made that.
Yeah.
I mean, surely.
You do that for the right money, right?
Massive. Look, we've had our best days, and I think a fight like that would definitely sell. I mean, Manny having a massive Philippine fan base, and all around the world really, and then obviously myself, I've got a decent fan base as well, so I think it will definitely sell, and people would like to see, you know, when people make comebacks, I mean, people always like to see them, see how the fight's going to be, and me and Manny are probably in the same position. We'd be both being retired for like 3-4 years. I think it will make a good fight.
And you're only 38 as well, I mean, so we've seen boxers older than that getting back into the ring. I mean, you're still at a good age where you certainly could box again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at George Foreman, the late George Foreman. You know, he was a great champion, and he came back. I think he must have been in his late 40s when he come back and won a world title as well. So, look, in boxing, it's always that one punch. And at the same time, though, guys, is that I look back and think, do I need to get back in the ring again? You know, we've always been prize fighters. I've always taken punches to the head. It could just be that one punch that hurts you, and, you know, God forbid you get hurt and you can't spend good quality time with your family.
Amir Khan also looked back on the major fight that almost happened between him and Pacquiao but never materialized. He explained that the matchup fell apart because of contract disputes and financial issues. According to Khan, the negotiations were complicated by middlemen and broken promises from investors, especially around a proposed fight in the UAE. He said the fight didn't happen because Bob Arum claimed the investors in Dubai or the UAE couldn't secure the funds and needed more time. In the end, the lack of solid financial backing caused the fight to collapse. Despite the setback, Khan is still open to facing Pacquiao if everything lines up. He made it clear he's only interested in big-name fights, specifically mentioning Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather. Khan admitted he's mostly done with boxing and has lost the passion for it, saying, "I'm 90% done with the sport anyway. I don't have the love for boxing anymore. To motivate myself, it would only have to be Manny or Floyd Mayweather." Promoter Eddie Hearn also shared his thoughts on Pacquiao's decision to face Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title at 46. While he respects Pacquiao's legacy and the excitement he brings, Hearn questioned if it's fair for him to fight for a world title after so many years away. He raised the point of whether Pacquiao should be competing for a championship when younger, more active fighters are waiting for their chance. Hearn emphasized that title opportunities should be based on current performance and regular activity in the ring. Although Pacquiao's return is expected to generate massive interest and revenue, Hearn warned that age and time away from the sport could impact his performance, highlighting the ongoing debate in boxing about respecting legends while also keeping opportunities fair for the next generation.
It's a very contentious subject, like, you know, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, you know, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. You know, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, you know, but he still hasn't had those wins yet. So, you know, I like to see great fighters just slowly fade out of the sport, but also at the same time, if they feel good, if they feel they can be competitive, and there's a lot of money to be made, I also get it.
Mike Tyson once made a bold statement, claiming that Naoya Inoue is better than Manny Pacquiao. Speaking on his podcast, Hot Boxing, Tyson described Inoue as vicious, praising his power and dominance in the ring. Known as the Monster, Inoue has captured world titles in 4 weight classes and has become the undisputed champion at both bantamweight and super bantamweight. His sharp technique and impressive 90% knockout rate showcase just how dangerous he is. While Pacquiao's legacy with titles in 8 divisions is historic, Tyson's view highlights Inoue's flawless record and disciplined style, fueling the ongoing debate about who truly deserves the pound-for-pound crown. Terence Crawford also weighed in, questioning Pacquiao's standing among the top pound-for-pound fighters. He focused on the type of titles Pacquiao held, particularly the WBA regular welterweight belt, which Crawford believes isn't a real championship. "He's not a champion in my eyes," Crawford said. "He doesn't have the super belt, that's the champion in my eyes," making it clear he values only the highest level titles. Crawford has always aimed to face fighters with major belts like the WBA super title. On the Pound for Pound podcast, Crawford further questioned Pacquiao's legacy, pointing to past controversies. He brought up Pacquiao's delay in agreeing to Olympic-style drug testing during negotiations for the Mayweather fight and noted that Pacquiao hasn't scored a knockout since finally agreeing to that testing. Crawford's comment suggests that, in his view, Pacquiao's achievements are overshadowed by lingering doubts, keeping him off Crawford's list of all-time greats.
He's a generational, talented fighter, but I don't feel like, he did it on his own.
I don't think Pacquiao took steroids. Really, the Mayweathers questioned it and drilled them on it, and that made people pick a side. I can't say that means Pacquiao was on something. And the reason why is because Pacquiao may have been the most tested fighter of all time. He never failed a test. Floyd did. So you're talking about a situation where now you're just saying he's so good that he must be on something. But number 2, Crawford said Pacquiao was knocking everybody out until he took the test. That was a damn lie. Pacquiao power went down after he went up. Pacquiao didn't knock out anybody at welterweight. That had nothing to do with the test. He went up and he ain't knocked anyone out at welterweight. He knocked out Ricky Hatton. That was at 140. Floyd knocked out Ricky Hatton. So that doesn't say that Pacquiao had steroid power. He wasn't knocking out anybody. Yeah, he was.
Pacquiao's decision to move up in weight to face Antonio Margarito in 2010 was one of the boldest choices of his career. Despite being nearly 6 inches shorter and weighing 17 pounds less on fight night, Pacquiao's speed and skill allowed him to dominate the match. He came in at 144.6 pounds, under the 150-pound catchweight limit, and was around 148 pounds during the fight, while Margarito was estimated to be about 165 pounds. After the fight, Pacquiao admitted how tough it was, saying, "Amazing, I survived that Margarito fight. That night, I was just 148 pounds." His victory earned him the WBC Super Welterweight title, making him the only boxer in history to win titles in 8 different weight classes. Pacquiao was elected to the International Boxing Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025, with the announcement made on December 5, 2024. He will be officially honored during Hall of Fame weekend from June 5 to 8, 2025, in Canastota, New York. His career spanned from 1995 to 2021, ending with a record of 62 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws, capturing world titles and divisions from flyweight to super welterweight. Outside of boxing, Pacquiao became a major political figure in the Philippines, serving as a senator and running for president in 2022, solidifying his status as a national icon. Reflecting on his Hall of Fame induction, Pacquiao said, "I am so happy that I have been selected to enter the International Boxing Hall of Fame. This certainly is a wonderful Christmas gift." Joining him in the 2025 class are Michael Nunn, Vinny Paz, and other big names in the sport. Pacquiao retired from boxing in September 2021 at 42 after losing to Yadenis Ugas by unanimous decision. He mentioned experiencing leg cramps during the fight, a sign that his body was no longer at its peak. He stepped away from the sport to focus on his political ambitions, particularly his run for the Philippine presidency in 2022. In his retirement message, Pacquiao thanked the sport for changing his life, saying, "It is difficult for me to accept that my time as a boxer is over. Today, I am announcing my retirement, marking the end of a historic 26-year career."
Remember that one. Pacquiao is now planning to run for president in his native Philippines this upcoming May. But Shannon, how will you remember Manny as a boxer?
Historically great fighter.
Good for you.
The only fighter to win 8 world titles. I mean, he started out boxing, he was 106 pounds, won a title at, I think, 112, and went all the way up to
108 first.
Went all the way up to 154.
It's impossible. It's just...
I don't believe, I feel very comfortable and said, I don't believe we'll ever see that again, Skip.
We'll never see it again.
And it wasn't like he was fighting bums. When you go back and look at Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales and Oscar Larios and De La Hoya and Hatton and Cotto, Margarita, Mosley, Timothy Bradley, Mayweather, Skip. I mean, what do you got to say? He was a champion in 4 different decades.
Yep.
Fighter of the year, first ballot Hall of Fame. He's great.
Stephen A. Smith shared his thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's retirement in a brief video, expressing deep respect for the boxing legend's career. He praised Pacquiao's incredible achievements, especially his historic status as an 8-division world champion, and acknowledged the massive impact he had on the sport. Smith also pointed out how Pacquiao inspired fans worldwide, not just with his talent in the ring, but with his humility and dedication outside of it.
Your thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's retirement?
One of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. Never ran from anybody. Had completely respected the sport of boxing. Was an ultimate champion. And I have to tell you, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet on the planet Earth. I mean, when people, I want to say this real quick because I know we got to go because we got one more thing to discuss, Mark.
Yeah.
When people talk about Manny Pacquiao and they say stuff like, well, he's fighting for money. I would like y'all to know that there are people who line up in the streets of the Philippines just to come get some money from him. He's very charitable.
Oh, yeah.
That's why money was compromising, because he's a giver. He's a special dude. I'm gonna miss him.
Manny Pacquiao's last pro fight was in August 2021, when he lost to Yordenis Ugas by unanimous decision. Since then, he's stayed out of the ring. Promoter Eddie Hearn noted that long breaks can be tough, especially for older fighters. While Pacquiao's desire to return is impressive, boxing at the highest level is physically demanding. At 46, getting back to peak shape and facing younger, active opponents is a big challenge. Still, Pacquiao's experience and ring smarts could keep him competitive in the welterweight division. His planned comeback against Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title in July 2025 shows he's still aiming high. But the outcome is uncertain given the sport's tough demands and the effects of age. Pacquiao's return has brought mixed reactions. Some fans are excited, while others worry about his ability after such a long break. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman defended Pacquiao's right to fight for a title, pointing to rules that let top former champions request title bouts after retirement. The fight with Barrios is about more than just a belt, it's about Pacquiao's lasting legacy. Known for his relentless style and determination, this comeback could prove his dedication to boxing. Even with his busy political life, a win would make him the oldest welterweight champion ever, further cementing his place as one of boxing's all-time greats.
In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and you know, it was so out of left field. You know, Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time. And of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter, convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugas. And in that fight, 4 years ago, as I say, 2021.
You've hit the core of it. Pacquiao's comeback is a mix of excitement and risk. At 46, going up against younger, faster fighters is no easy task, even for someone with his skill and experience. His legacy is already legendary, so many would say it's safer to preserve that. But Pacquiao has always been about pushing limits and proving himself, so it makes sense he'd want one more shot. Honestly, I think it comes down to what drives him most. If it's about love for the sport and proving he still belongs at the top, going for it makes sense. But if it's just pressure or expectations, maybe stepping back would be wiser. What's your take? Would you want to see him fight again or let the legend stand as it is?